Hi guys, welcome to some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who haven't joined us before, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and or emailer, keep those emails coming in. We love getting ideas from them, and actually we learn a little something from some of them as well.
Yes.
Okay, so before we get going today, I gotta say, I love buying toys for my dogs,
Yes.
but I'm kind of a budget person. I like to try to find something that's going to last the longest for the least amount of money.
Right.
A dang toy costs like $20. So
It's outrageous.
I happen to be at a grocery store that doesn't specialize in dog or pet supplies in general, just a little aisle of things. And I came upon something that I absolutely had to buy.
What is it?
It is and this is the name. I'm not making this up.
No, she's reading it off of some sort of instruction page.
Yes, I wouldn't think it, but it had instructions. This is called the Wobble Wag Wiggle Bounce Ball.
Say that 5 times fast.
No,
Okay.
I can't.
All right.
I can't. But it is, in fact, I brought it with today. So it's not the most durable. It's like if I let my dogs just go with this, I think they'd tear it up in a day.
Sure. Yeah.
And it cost $25, so I wasn't going to do it.
Right.
But okay, here it goes. I'm going to do this.
Here we go.
Now it won't do it.
No, it's not here.
Here,
Here, let's see if we can.
There.
Okay, well, it did it for a minute. Oh, there it goes.
Yes.
You got to change directions and stuff with it. So there we go.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
It very weird.
Yeah.
Apparently you and Daytrick think it is similar to the kazoo.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look overly durable. And it does come with directions.
Yeah. Which, who would have thought?
Yeah, there's no batteries required, I'll tell you.
That's always an upside.
But it does say not to let children play with this.
Why?
I don't know, but remember when we did that podcast about toys that you should look at what they're made of, and if they're not suitable for children under a certain age, they're probably not okay for dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, yikes. But I bought it. I really, I can warn everybody out there that at 3 a.m., when you start hearing this, bizarre sound coming, it does freak you out.
I would, yeah. Well, I've told you about sometimes I shoot out of bed, from a sound sleep. I would imagine that would be a similar reaction to that.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Because what is
it? Poppy loves this.
Oh, I'm sure. I can see.
She will lay next to it and poke it with her nose. So that's what I listen to. And they even have tips for playing with your dog.
Oh, wow.
Shake the ball and act excited. Show your dog that the noises it makes are fun. This will encourage him to play. Each time your dog gets a ball to make a noise, say things like, good boy. Sometimes you may want to reward play with treats. Now, that's kind of silly, I think, because play is kind of a reward in itself.
Yes, that's how, yeah.
And it says it'll soon become your dog's favorite toy.
Now, okay, 2 things come to mind. One, do I want it to be their favorite toy?
Not at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And 2, I feel like these directions came from fear.
I think it is. I don't know. I think it's supposed to like it does say not to let them play with it alone. That you should, do it with them. And I think that's so that they don't eat any of the parts that are inside of it.
Yeah.
So it's something, interactive. You want to do it with them and be out there playing with them. Now I tried playing with Gabby and the wobble wag giggle bounce ball,
Yeah.
and she just kept setting it on the couch and looking at it.
Well, that noise, I'm telling you. She's like, no, yeah. Instructions. Yeah, your dog's freaking out. Here's how you calm them down.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
beware.
It does warn that if it, is compromised, with being chewed or parts exposed or showing or torn, to take it away from them.
Oh.
So,
well, that's good.
It's stuff like that. But it says, I just noticed it says store out of pet's reach when not in use.
Yeah. See, Gabby's like, I don't know what it's saying to me. You take it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it's fun. And Poppy sure loves it.
You know what? I could see her just having a heyday with that thing.
Yeah. Well, she's the only one that does. Karma just takes it from her and puts it in the kennel.
Rude.
Yeah.
Such a cranky mom.
So,
ma'am.
That was my little discovery. I actually just got that the other day when I was grocery shopping, and I thought,
that is fun. You got to treat them to a fun toy like that once.
Yeah, and $25 for a toy that won't last for like 5 years. That's a lot for me.
Same.
I'm not saying it's expensive because dog toys in general are expensive,
right?
But I'm cheap.
Yeah, well, and durability. There's no. Yeah, I'm cheap as well, and yeah, I'm telling you, I risk stepping on these awful toys because they can't destroy them. And, I'm about to either cut my feet off or throw them away. And
I wonder what you should do.
Yeah, well, I think the obvious answer.
Cut your feet off?
Yeah. My dogs would probably like that better. But,
yeah, I think that was fun. Oh, look,
yeah.
Here, try to walk.
Right. Yeah. This is way better with her down here. No, I might have to relocate the blue ones for now because ouch.
Yeah, I wouldn't have ever bought those toys myself, but this ball is fun, and I think some dogs it does freak out, but overall they seem to really think it's a lot of fun. Floki, he's my neutered pet,
yes.
Male, and he just lays in the kennel watching the girls play with it like he has no idea what they're doing, which he could have dementia at this point.
He might.
I don't know. But so today we're talking about, is your dog confident?
Yes. Yes.
And what can you do to build that confidence?
I'm going to guess there's a lot. There's a lot you can do.
I'm sure.
There's a lot. Well, I can tell you how to know.
Tell me.
I'm going to tell you right now. And what I did find was there are some tests that you can do yourself.
Where do you find those tests?
You can, and you know what? Google. Right on the internet.
Our favorite.
Internet. Yep. Now I only wrote down a few, there's a lot of different places that have different tests you can do and suggestions on, confidence testing. Right. So when you're looking for signs of low confidence or lack of confidence, you want to look for signs of fearfulness, anxiety, submissive, and, just pay attention for things like that. I had a dog who, well, she doesn't do it anymore, but Betsy, she was a peer, an excited peer.
Nervous, yeah.
Yep. She's grown out of that. She's, good now. So, excessive urination, trembling, tail tucking, excessive lip licking, cowering, pretty typical, you can usually see those pretty obviously, in really any dog. They also can have reactive behaviors like snapping and growling. They might seem aggressive with barking and lunging. It doesn't necessarily mean they're being aggressive. It can be a lack of confidence coming out, and they're just trying to kind of put up that front.
Right.
So those are some of the things to look for, just to be able to know if your dog is lacking confidence. If you're still not real sure, this first test I wrote down, I chuckled when I was, not because it's a bad, because I totally get it. It's called the cradle test. And I just imagined myself trying to do this with Enzo.
Because he's bigger than you?
Yeah. So, you place your dog on their back in your arms, which, again, that's not happening here. A confident dog is going to stay relaxed and loose. And an insecure dog is going to stiffen up, squirm around, and resist being on their back at all. So that one, I had an entertaining visual for that myself. But with smaller dogs, I totally see how that would be a good test. You can, have them, hop up on the couch with you, or, anything like that.
Well, anytime a dog shows their belly or kind of turns their butt to another dog or a person, that is a comfortable thing. That's saying that they're comfortable with you. They don't feel threatened by you. So that's definitely something that a confident dog would be doing, is belly up.
And then there's for like environmental sensitivity. You get like a loud noise, like dropping a food dish, like a metal food dish on the ground. A moment of surprise. Boo.
Well, now that you say that, I not too long ago purchased a different kennel.
Oh.
For in my kitchen.
Yes.
I wanted something that looked a little bit better, and also I was always stubbing my toes on the gate that stuck out. So my search was for something that had a barn door type gate that slid up, and that way I wasn't ramming my knees and feet on it all the time.
Yeah.
And I had a heck of a time. In fact, let's see, when did I buy that? Like a couple months ago?
I want to say it was a couple.
And just recently, Karma will sit in there while I shut the gate, because it is making, it makes kind of a, I don't know if I'd say a scraping noise, but it's kind of a kind of noise when the gate goes shut.
It's very slight. Like for us hearing it, it's hardly amounts to anything.
Yeah, but it disturbs her. So that would be an environmental thing that is making her fearful. She is not a fearful dog, and she is confident, but certain situations can bring that out.
Well, and that's something to keep in mind too, if you're doing, things like these tests, and, you don't really have, something like that is not saying, oh, my dog's not confident. It's a new thing. It's something that she hasn't been desensitized to or experienced yet. So none of this is, 100% like that's a great example too, because she is a super confident dog. She we're besties. I love Karma.
Yeah, so she's that's just and Karma is older dog, so she's been exposed to a lot of stuff, just not a sliding gate.
Yeah,
makes kind of a scraping sound.
Which who would have? Wouldn't have even thought.
Yeah, and it did take a month and a half or so before she started. She would let me shut it, and she would stay in the room, but she would not sit in the kennel and
let you shut it.
Let me shut it. So sometimes it's a matter of just being super patient.
Right. And also, when say you're observing your dog observing, uh, a confident dog is going to hold its head high and be, more fluid with its, movements, and is going to be willing to explore. Whereas an insecure dog is going to be more rigid and hesitant and, not as quick to see what's going on. And, that's again too, new things can always, even with a confident dog, can, they may hesitate for a second, but um, that's just things to look for if you do feel like your dog needs work with confidence, and you as the owner also bring confidence to your dog too. So
Right.
um,
Well, I think there's a maternal side to a lot of people where if, your child, your dog, your cat is afraid of something, you want to go to them and embrace them or keep them safe and close to you. But really, what you're doing there is you are actually creating a more insecure pet,
right,
because they are seeing that behavior coming from the person that they believe is the leader of the pack. They're seeing that behavior come from them, and it is basically instilling their own anxiety.
right.
They're seeing it as a negative
Mm-hmm.
to do that. So really the correct thing to do with that is to, as the pack leader, the pet owner, the pet parent, whatever you want to call yourself, you need to stand firm and be confident yourself, and to stand beside your dog and be sound in your body motion, or I should say body language, instills more security than coddling them and cuddling them and
Right.
saying poor puppy or anything like that. And in fact, sometimes doing that, I always say, chaos creates chaos. If you already have a person or a pet that is already kind of hysterical about thunder or doors shutting or something going on, you're actually creating even more chaos and negative energy by sharing that with them. You need to go the opposite direction and be very sound in your
Right.
body language.
And that was actually, working at the confidence end of things. That was something when I first started getting dogs. I'm a reactive person. I'm not
Hyper reactive.
Yes, I am not real calm about it. When something happens. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, oh. And I have had to learn since I've gotten dogs, multiple dogs, that they very much do feed off of your own reactions to things, and
It's kind of a frenzy.
it is. And there's been even now, I still have times where like we'll be on the phone and you're like, wow, that sounds like chaos. And it's like, it is though, right? Because I'm letting myself get worked up and nobody's listening, and it's nothing real serious, but
So you can basically take a dog or a puppy that is just shy,
right.
and by feeding that frenzy side of things, actually create a dog with even more problems.
Yes, exactly. Which is the last thing you want to do. Because, I mean, I have dogs because they're relaxing and I can cuddle with them. And, that's the opposite.
Well, I mean, I relax and cuddle my dogs too, but I think for me, when I have a young dog I'm working with, I want them to, address situations or people even coming into my own yard in an assertive manner. And there's a difference
Right.
between a dog being assertive and aggressive.
Yes.
Because dogs should be, I see dogs as guardian situation where it provides security and safety.
Yes.
So that's my thinking on it. But yeah, so, and honestly, just because your dogs are shy does not mean that, I mean, that's not all bad.
I have Tito is actually very shy.
Mhm.
He's a shy dog. But he has gained quite a bit of confidence. He's actually much different now than when he was a puppy. He used to run a lot away from things. But that's also, what they'll be 3. So, trying to build the confidence over those years where he is confident in himself and myself. But
Well, I think, I think you have to respect the dog that is shy. Sometimes they just want to be comfortable in a situation before someone pets them or they go out into it or whatever. But I think one thing to keep in mind is that when something or a certain environment or certain people makes them nervous, it's important to work them into it slowly and not just try to throw them into things abruptly or harshly when it's something that is uncomfortable for them,
yeah,
because that can create more fear and even make them appear aggressive, which aggressive is, I'm always hesitant to use that term because sometimes what appears to be aggression is just a dog being afraid and feeling cornered into a situation that they don't know what to do
right.
with.
That's how they know how to relay the message.
That they are uncomfortable, they don't like it, get away from me.
Yes.
So it's really important that when you do start exposing them to whatever it is that makes them uptight, and you may have random situations like kennel doors, like moving to a new house, like new neighbors, a new dog in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Anything that you might have to do it throughout their life. Just get
Right.
them used to new situations. Some little things that you can do. And, every time I even mention this, my brain automatically goes to Cody because he always thinks you should, never use treats for training.
Yeah.
He just thinks, oh, that's the only time they listen then. No, that's a starting point.
Yes.
So for me, I think about if they're afraid of bikes, skateboards, lawnmowers, doors, anything like that, using a high value treat kind of distracts them from the thing that they're afraid of so much.
Yeah.
And it kind of also makes it a positive thing. I've had dogs that, like when Primo Corso Kennel sends puppies off to be with families, sometimes they're afraid of being in the car.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I just sit in the car with a bag of treats and we just hang out and eat.
Yeah.
And it's not about a reward, it's about a distraction and turning it into a positive interaction.
Exactly.
So, you can always use treats, just gently introducing them to environments, even a favorite toy.
Yeah.
If that is something that they respond well to as a toy. But you always need to make it positive and fun so that they aren't relating something that already scares them.
Right.
To a negative situation. Like sometimes, okay, I just had 2 thoughts.
Okay.
Sometimes if people can't get their dogs to walk with them, you'll see them dragging them.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
No.
I mean, that isn't how you do it.
No.
And then I just realized that Poppy, when she was a puppy, we took her to Tractor Supply and she just sat down and wasn't going to move. And I was slowly walking with her and she just sat backwards while I was, taking her down so I did it. Guilty.
Well, I will say though, she seemed to be having fine time with it.
Yeah, she didn't seem upset at all.
No,
So
very slippery floor.
She's just like sliding along with me.
She's like, oh, no work. Here we go.
But also I think you need to watch your own, you know, I don't know if, I worry about referencing other trainers, but you know, I was watching a Cesar Millan show.
Yes.
I watch them when I'm doing stuff because I can listen. And he was working with a dog that I think was frustrating him a little bit.
Okay.
And he said he had to stop and recenter his emotions so that he handled the dog correctly.
Oh.
And I thought, now that wasn't a direct quote. That's,
Paraphrasing.
Yep.
It's
And, I think it's important that you watch how you are coming across to the dog you're working with
oh yes.
so that you're not creating more anxiety or frustration. You're, I thought that was interesting. He said that because, I don't, really talk about energy and centering yourself and things like Cesar Millan, but I totally got what he was saying as far as, he had to kind of regroup, get himself in check, and then reapproach the dog in a calm
Yes.
manner.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge thing so that when you are dealing with your dog, you're not building up the negative in the dog.
Right.
They just are so in tune with people. It's amazing.
There are definitely times where deep breath is more in order to be able to, sometimes I wonder if they're smarter than me actually, because what?
They're probably smarter than all of us.
Right.
They're probably curled up at night thinking, did you see what she did today? I can't even believe it. We need to start a podcast on these people.
We need to spread the word.
Being part of the human community.
Yeah. How to deal with humans.
Yeah. But, even before we go too far into anything else, I got to say, and I probably should have started with this, but a starting point for puppies, or even if you get a rescue dog, or if you're backtracking with your own dog that might be a little older, basic obedience.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that is going to instill trust, safety, security, confidence, because you're being the leader. You're telling them how it's going to be, what's going to be done.
Right.
And if you're approaching them in a calm manner, basic obedience is the starting point for pretty much everything.
And it honestly, super easy.
Is it?
Well, I'm going with that.
Well, actually, just the other day, I was, Poppy was being a little bit rambunctious in the kitchen and wanting a treat.
Oh, yep.
And I wanted her to focus on me, and you were standing there.
Oh, yeah.
And I kept holding the treat up so that she would actually look at me, not try to grab the treats out of my hand, which get off my hands. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
And it was pretty short amount of time that I was holding the treat up so she'd actually acknowledge me, not the treat. Focus on me, girl.
Right.
And she sat down and kind of turned calm.
Yep.
She and it was in the kitchen. It was very random that I even did it. She was poking at my hands for a treat. So I took that opportunity, showed her, hey, look at me. And she did. She settled down after just a few seconds. She sat down. She looked at me. She quit grabbing at my hands. She just mellowed out.
She did. Yep.
And I think, too many people think you've got to do 10 minutes every morning and every afternoon. And then at lunchtime, they have to do this to get their food. And then I don't think it has to be that big of a thought process all the time.
Right.
Just those simple little times, even unexpected times where you're showing the dog, you got to focus on me to actually get this treat.
Yes.
It's just an opportunity. Don't overlook those little, and I was not showing you anything. You just happened to be there.
Right.
So that was the point where I was like, not liking what she was doing. So I stopped what I was doing and showed her to be good.
Right.
So don't overlook those, 2-minute opportunities throughout your day that could be while you're on the toilet. Hey, get off me while I'm sitting on the toilet.
Right.
Well,
and honestly, things like that are even better almost sometimes because they are random. Dogs they really do, they pick up routines and times, not like they know, oh, it's 4 p.m., but you get into a routine. They know my dogs line up to the window to watch my son come home from school. So those spontaneous times almost, I think are just extra good.
Yeah, well, and I do think it is good to have some training time, especially if you have multiple dogs. I mean,
Yes.
take one out for 10 minutes in the afternoon and work with them.
Yeah.
But, and yeah, I totally agree with that. But it's, don't overlook those little opportunities throughout the day.
To teach them something.
Right. And I believe that day I was working with Poppy, Karma was in the kitchen as well.
Yes.
And so she had to stay back while I was dealing with
Yep.
Poppy. So,
Yep.
I mean, everything is, all interactions are kind of a learning experience for dogs.
Taking advantage of her being a stinker and turning it into a teaching lesson instead of get down. I'm guilty of just getting after my dog sometimes too, instead of turning it into a training moment. And I think we'd all have better dogs if we took the time to do that.
Well, it was also, when I was reading on this topic, I came upon I think it was Fluffy Affair.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about, if you have a dog that's not confident, to pair it with a dog that is confident.
Yeah. Now, I have a question. Now, I haven't looked this up. This just came to me. Could that cause problems?
Oh, for sure. If you have a naughty dog that is confident, I'm sure they would absolutely teach, a shyer, less confident dog bad things.
So it's got to be definitely the right confident dog.
I would say, yeah, they call it peer modeling in this.
Oh, sure.
On Fluffy Affair,
yeah.
They call it peer modeling. And I think it is important to make sure that the dog that you're putting him with is well behaved. And, that's even like in a job. I mean, do you want people training people in that don't know the job? No.
Terrible idea.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with this peer modeling.
Yeah.
If you have a dog that's naughty, eating chickens, getting out of the gate, running loose, and is clearly confident but very high drive or just plain naughty,
right,
then that one is definitely going to teach some naughty business to the weaker dog. So, yeah, I think that's important.
Think about it a little before you choose.
Yeah, don't just go grab a dog that seems more confident and think, oh, this will fix it, because it might not. It might make it worse.
Right. Well, I thought Enzo was a great example, and now I just have naughty dogs.
Enzo is a food mongrel.
Yeah.
He will not stay out of trash. He will not stay out of off the counter. He actually, when I come over, I always give him scraps, which I'm sure is really helpful.
Yeah, it so helps. I mean,
but I can't do that to my dogs.
I know. Well,
they have to behave.
I don't do them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, I'm one of those, I don't share my food with the dogs.
Skinny girls are mean about food.
Man, if I wanted you to have it, I'd give it to you. But
she's mean about food.
I know. So even when I'm at her house, no, because I did. I gave Floki one piece of sandwich.
And I told you not. I said you're going to open up a can of worms.
I did. I opened the whole can.
Yeah, he would not leave her alone. He's glued to her side.
It was for like weeks. That's crazy.
So, I mean, that's a very good point. You want to make sure that if you're, going to attempt some type of peer modeling, and pair it with a more confident dog, that confident dog is not mischievous.
Yeah, but that's what I got. So, no peer modeling in this house.
No, not unless Daytrick. Daytrick's pretty good.
Yeah, he listens pretty well.
He can be good. He can be a good example for the dogs.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, a really good thing, and I think for any dog, not even ones that have issues with anxiety or fear, confidence. But I think it is important to socialize and desensitize dogs to expose, different things that they're going to be exposed to, or even things that you don't think I mean, you got to kind of like think ahead and outside the box and,
Yeah.
what could happen. And I know I heard a breeder say that when they have puppies, they make all the noise they possibly can
Yeah.
in the whelping room or building or whatever. And I get what they're saying on that. I tried using a fly swatter with the Primo Corso puppies last time,
Yeah.
and they've totally forgotten about it because they hate the fly swatter now. So I thought, I just thought if I slapped, it around
Right.
on like the desk or, hit the
Yeah.
wall or something like that, they would be like, oh,
Get used to it. Yeah.
they hear a noise, they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But they turned out afraid of dog food bags, things like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
then I really had to start applying myself to getting some noise in the room. In fact, I'm going to put a TV in the whelping
Yeah.
room to get more noise going so that, but I think that's important with
Yeah.
any dog at any level.
Well, Jim, I got him when he was a few years old. And up until then, he'd lived with you in the country.
Right.
And then moved into Thief River with me, where there was a train a block away,
Yeah.
cars all over, school kids. I mean, you name it, it was there. And, him already being, a few years old, that was a little bit more of an adjustment for him. And he's a confident dog.
Jim?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is not really afraid of anything. So,
No. He's a Shiba Inu.
Yeah. And he is not afraid of anything. And even with the noises, it's not like he was fearful. It was all new. So
Right.
a lot of he's not a barking dog, but he was.
Well, and that's something, Primo Corso Kennels actually has it in the contract to be aware that the dogs that come from out there are not used to traffic.
Yes.
They're not used to a lot of people around. I mean, the only time there's vehicles out there is, well, today there was snowmobiles.
Yeah.
Because there was a snowmobile race happening. But harvest and planting are the busy times, and then it's kind of nothing.
Yep. Very
And
quiet.
so any puppies that come from there just have not been exposed to sounds or noises or anything. So they might appear quirky and a little fearful, but that's just because they haven't been
Right.
exposed to it, which, actually the last, I think it was 2 litters ago, my employer let me take a couple of puppies to work, like the week before they're going to go to their homes.
Yeah.
Their permanent homes. And then they could get used to other people riding in the car to and from.
Yes.
I took one they named Roxy. Roxy went to Walmart a few times with me and rode in
Yeah.
the cart and just things like that. But I mean, if they're not exposed to things, I mean, they got no clue. For all they know, the sky is falling.
Right.
I mean,
And they will be okay. Jim, I mean, like I said, I use him as an example because he was not a puppy
right.
when I got him. And
Well, and that goes along with Karma, how she, as an older
yes.
female, is afraid of the kennel because of the sound of the gate closing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lifelong thing.
Yes.
You just have to be ready to help them through
Yeah.
new experiences.
Well, and Jim, I mean, now he looks out the front window and just watches people walk by.
Hmm.
I mean, he will bark if he doesn't like the looks of somebody.
Well, if they're sketchy, they're sketchy.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we love them. So, we do have to help them through their own life
Changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think, it's really tricky because I know everybody has their own idea of how their dogs should act, how they should be within their home and when they're out and about. And I think you have to accept that all dogs, different breeds, have their own personalities. And you might have a dog that is a little bit more shy,
Yeah.
and you have some that are a little bit more boisterous.
Right.
And I think what you really have to look at is the quality of life that they're living. I mean, are they, fearful and afraid, and is their life filled with anxiety? Then that is something that absolutely should be addressed.
Yes.
If they're just a little bit shy, don't really like a lot of people, and you're happy having them at home, I mean, it's not like, it's bad to have dogs with different personalities. I can say
Right.
within my own little pack at home that I have, a few different types of dogs, and
Yeah.
we're not all alike. People are not, so why would dogs?
Right. Which I think it's super fun. I mean, I have some dogs that don't want to give me the time of day sometimes.
Well, that's kind of a kick in the
A
teeth.
little bit, but you know what? Whatever. I don't want to cuddle with them anyway.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. But, then there's other ones too that are like, you know what? I want to cuddle with you.
If you do have problems or concerns and you're really struggling with a dog that is lacking confidence, that's fearful, and you really, believe it's affecting the quality of their life as well as your home life, it's always best to, do some research, do some reading, contact the professionals in your area. Your vet is always a really great resource as far as, just knowing of people who might be able to help you.
Right.
So always make sure to check the professionals in your area.
And if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. Also, little update. We forgot to say we are on YouTube now.
Right. We were supposed to mention that. Yes.
Yes. So go ahead and follow us, subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment down below.
Yeah. Or send us an email. I'm
Yep.
the email person. I handle
Yes.
emails. So,
Yes. So
yeah.
do that.
That's kind of exciting. We just
Yes.
are growing our podcasts, and that's just great.
We can't wait to talk to even more of you guys.
Yeah. So have a great week. We hope you all enjoyed the podcast.
And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.